All right, ready? Staring contest. 3, 2, 1, go. You're not winning this. Definitely not. This does not count as blinking. All right, welcome to Morning Walks.
We fell in step so easy, like we done this 1,000 weekends. And the whole block felt lighter when you started laughing out loud. We took the long way home with the sky on our shoulders now. Walking with my friends, walking with my friends, round and round again. Walking with my friends.
Bro, I gotta fine tune all of this stuff. It was crazy, bro. It was so annoying. So I record probably 30 minutes of my episode, or actually probably even longer than that. I record like 45 minutes of my episode on Riverside, not sponsored, but I recorded like 45 minutes, and then this was just me being an idiot. I had to refresh the page to start recording, and I forgot to do that. So it's 45 minutes down the drain, which really sucks. There's a ton of planes going right now. Super weird. Let's see, what do we got here? So in my last episode, I talked about how I did like this AI battle between Claude, Gemini, Grok, Perplexity, Copilot, and ChatGPT. I don't know if I already said ChatGPT, but so I did like this whole battle thing, and I originally decided on Perplexity and for my podcast, and then Grok for my tablet, and then Gemini for my integration with my tablet. But I've realized that's probably not the best because I'm using 3 different ones. And so I started using only Gemini, but there is a problem with that because a bunch of its safety features just get activated for virtually no reason at all. And so it kind of sucked to always be like being told no. And so I decided to use Google Assistant on my tablet. And then now instead of Grok, I just use Perplexity because Grok is incredibly slow. Actually, I gotta do that slow to match it. Incredibly slow. So I just decided to use Perplexity and Google Assistant. Google Assistant doesn't have AI, but I don't really need that from that because Gemini, you had to hold down the power button to be able to access it. But with Google Assistant, you could just say, "Hey Google," and then it'll show up, and then you could ask whatever. And you could even go, "Hey Google, open Perplexity," which is basically just the same thing as having Gemini. Oh my gosh, I almost said Gemini. Gemini. It's basically the same thing as having Gemini, except better, and Google Assistant can open different apps and all that stuff. So that's why instead of Grok, Gemini, and Perplexity, now I use Perplexity and Google Assistant. All right, let's see what we got cooking here. Samsung versus Apple. That's one of my notes. So This is never overlooked. Everyone has done a Samsung versus Apple. But it's my turn. Just trying to place that water as quietly as possible. So, I'm a Samsung guy. I have a Samsung tablet. My first phone is going to be a Samsung S26 Ultra. If you're wondering why I'm getting such a high-end phone as my first phone, it's because it's my dad's phone, and he's going to give it to me once the trifold comes out because he's going to get the trifold. And I'll probably do a review on that too on my YouTube channel. Alright, and so like I was saying, I have a Samsung tablet. That's going to be my first phone. I use Windows. I prefer pretty much any other assistant to Siri. I mean, Siri just got like an AI update, but I don't know how well that's going to work. But yeah, I'm actually excited to get Bixby on Samsung phone because it's not available on the tablet for some reason, but it is available on the phone, and actually, funny enough, teamed up with Perplexity to use that AI as its main source. So it's very helpful for me. Yeah, I would just rather use Windows and Samsung versus all Apple because I like Windows better than Mac. Also, you could eventually get to the best possible performance with a Windows laptop rather than getting a Mac. Let's see, what else? I like the Samsung tablet better than the iPad. The Samsung tablet I do really like, but probably a better version would be the Lenovo. It is Lenovo, right? I think it's Lenovo. It's that tablet. My uncle has one, and it looks really sick. And it's still got like that keyboard and trackpad that you could attach to it, same that the iPad does. And then I do love the S Pen. I love the idea of having a pen for a phone. I don't know why. I mean, even for this podcast, I always write bullet points, and I wrote bullet points with my finger, and I would rather use a pen for that. But I still, even though using a finger is not my favorite, I would rather go like scribble like with my finger rather than typing something in. So, and then whatever the Apple pen is called, I forget, but it's like way overpriced. So that's why I'm not getting that. And then, yeah, the phones are better. I like the design of the watches better, except for the newer ones. They kind of look like a box with a circle in it, which is kind of the worst of both worlds. But I do like the traditional circle watches better than this, because right now I have an Apple Watch. Yep, because the Samsung watches aren't standalone, and the ones that are standalone are like super expensive, and this Apple Watch was my sister's because my mom and my sister are on the Apple side, and then me, my brother, and my dad are on the Samsung side. Actually, here, I could prove this to you. Hey, Grayson, come here. All right, so I'm going to ask him a question. All right, come here. All right, so this is my brother, Grayson, and I was just saying, would you prefer Samsung or Apple?
Samsung.
Say, Eric, can you say that into the microphone?
Samsung.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm comparing Samsung and Apple, and I'm saying that I like Mac more than Windows, and like I like
You
Samsung
Mac
tablet.
more than Windows?
Or opposite way around. My bad.
I was like,
But yeah. And then I was saying how our sister and mom like Apple more than Samsung, and it's kind of like a boys versus girls.
Samsung's better.
Say that into the microphone.
Samsung's better.
He's right. All right, you could go away now. Thanks.
Something fell from your chair.
Okay. All right.
Still, that's why my chair is better than his.
Oh yeah, I did a short about comparing our two chairs, and ever since then he's been like raving how his chair's better than mine,
Mine's better.
but it's not.
Totally is.
He just walked. I don't know if the microphone picked that, but he just walked away going, "Totally is." But whatever, it's all cool. I like mine better. Yeah, if you want to check that out, it's on my YouTube channel, which is Walk W Leo, or at Walk W Leo, and it's Morning Walks with Leo Masson. So yeah, let's see what else is on this fine list of poorly written notes. Oh yeah, speaking of my tablet, or we weren't really speaking of that right now, but before we were speaking of my tablet. So it was actually really funny because I have this, you know how like you could put a bunch of apps into like a group so they don't crowd. So basically I put all my like control center apps into one group, and it has like my Fitness Pal, it's got Smart Switch, it's got Samsung Flow, it's got Alexa. Keeps picking up when I say it. Never mind. And it basically just has everything that. Oh, it also has Smart Things. It basically just has everything I need to control pretty much anything, and so that's why I call it the control room. But coincidentally, every single one of those icons is near the same shade of blue. So it's just perfect because I have all the icons that I need, and there's not one outlier, which is great. There is one streaming thing that I use where it's basically like an app where you select all your streaming services, and then you could like look up if you have movies or TV shows on that streaming service. So I could probably put that in the control center, but I just put it with streaming because I just gotta make the control center look perfect. All right. I'll actually be right back because I don't usually do this, but I got something to show you. All right, so I am going to Costa Rica, and yeah, so by the time this comes out, I will already be in Costa Rica. So I got this thing. I don't know how well you could see it, but it's like a metal car maker kit model thingy. And so basically, my parents don't want me on like watching movies or doing stuff the whole time when I'm not out swimming or zip lining or whatever. so I'm not bored during those parts. I got this, and essentially it's a bunch of metal sheets that. Sorry, my brother is cleaning the backyard. He just hit my dad's grill. He just like walked straight into it. So, anyways, what I was saying is, this thing, it's essentially a bunch of metal sheets that you cut and twist and bend, and you just put it all together to make a model of a car. And the car that I chose was a Hummer Army vehicle. It looks really cool. If you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, and you could see it. But I think it's actually really sick. And so, taking a plane, and then I can't take it with me on the plane, so because there's like sharp objects and like the tools I need. So unfortunately I wouldn't be able to do that. But at the same time I wouldn't really be able to do that anyways because I wouldn't have enough room to build it. So just gonna put it below deck, and hopefully it doesn't get lost, because last summer we went on a trip to Cabo, I think it was. Yeah, Cabo was last year. So we went on a trip to Cabo, and we rode this one plane. I think it was called like Aerobus or something. And then there was like 10 different people on our same flight that lost their bags. And the people, like the assistant people or whatever you call them, they said that our bags were in like, they were like 2,000 miles away. And if one of the people didn't have an air tag in their bag, then it would have taken so much longer to get. So we were able to get it, but we did miss our second flight because we had to wait to get it. And then that delayed our second flight, or not delayed our second flight, but we had to go on a different flight that was later. And then we got there later than we wanted to. So it was kind of a mess. And then when we went back home, the same exact thing happened. But this time we had to wait like quite a few hours, because we probably got back at like 10, and then we had to wait till like at least or 12 or 1 to get the bag that we needed. So good thing we're flying on Alaska Airlines, I think we're flying on this time. So it's definitely going to be better than before. When I went out there to get this, my parents were watching the World Cup. They've been obsessed. I've just been turning on literally every game except for the ones while they're at work. I don't really follow soccer at all. But apparently, it won't happen now, but apparently there was a chance that England and the U.S. were playing on the 4th of July, on its 250th anniversary of America separating from England, which would have been really funny, and everyone would have been super patriotic, but I'm pretty sure it's not happening, so too bad, but that still would have been really cool to see. I bet a bunch of the like players from other countries had like really bad jet lag. Feel like that would suck. I mean, really, like, what? In my opinion, I think airplane is the best versus like a car versus a boat because, I mean, it's definitely the quickest. And I feel like if I was on a boat for the same amount of time I was on an airplane, I would get pretty seasick. And then a car, you'd have to be constantly stopping just to like stretch out and I don't know, just like get better. But yeah, a car would definitely take the longest. Well, it depends. Because obviously there's some places that take quicker from car than airplane, and then car versus boat, and airplane versus boat. Actually, I really haven't been on a boat anywhere. Because the only really boat I've been to is going out to an island. And it wasn't really our boat. We just bought like ferry tickets. And it wasn't really like that special. Or when we went to a lake a while back, our family friends had a boat. I don't remember who it was though, but it was a while ago. So I haven't really gotten the full boat experience. I've only ridden on an airplane a couple of times though. Airplanes are fun because I love and hate the idea of being at an airport because it's like just walking through and like getting your steps in. I like all of that, but then also the checking, the waiting, the just yeah, the checking, the waiting, and even the just sitting for long periods of time. Just kind of hassle. Not really for me, but especially for like my parents because they gotta like get our passports together. They gotta do all this stuff, and glad I don't have to do it. I just gotta. I mean, I don't even really have to pack. All I really do is pack maybe I might bring like this computer or tablet and some headphones. I won't really pack much. I mean, my parents just pack all my clothes for me. Not that I can't pack my clothes for myself. It's just kind of how it's been. And yeah, I don't mind being on the plane. Cause as long as I have something to do, because now I have my tablet and my computer, which I could like download movies and stuff onto. Oh, that reminds me, I need to download like a show or something. If any of y'all have any suggestions, let me know. I got Disney Plus and Netflix. So I need to find like a good show to binge watch on the planes. Yeah, so now that I have a Samsung tablet, I don't know why I say Samsung tablet every time, but now that I have a tablet and a computer, it'll be better because I don't need internet, and it's a lot more free to do stuff. I just heard that Costa Rica is its independent country, which I didn't know. I thought it was part of Mexico, but apparently it's more Central America, which is interesting because I had no idea. I thought it was in the Bahamas. But apparently it's like right next to Panama. So I'm great at geography, but not always. And it's with select things. Because I'm better than everyone in my science opportunity class. Oh, that was rough. I mean, I'm glad school's over, but that was rough. Because we had a geography class, right? Or it wasn't really geography, it was science, but the science could be whatever the teacher decides. And the teacher decided to do geography because no one knew anything, and he was 100% right. I was the best in the class at geography by far. Well, I mean, I guess all the really smart kids were doing like band or chorus, or is it called choir? I forget. They were doing like band or strings or whatever. Not a lot of super smart kids were in the science opportunity. No offense, if any of you are listening. But yeah, I was like one of the smartest, and I still got a lot of stuff that I should have gotten right wrong. All right. Yeah, so in Costa Rica, we're going to be staying at an Airbnb, which is pretty sick. So the first time because these past 2 years and coming up, we've gone to 3 different places, and we've had 3 different, or we're going to have one more, and we've had 2 different experiences. So the first time we went to Cancun, and we went to like this all-inclusive resort. It was super cool, super fancy. And then last time we went to Cabo, and we stayed at a resort, but it wasn't like an all-inclusive thing, and it was a lot smaller and a lot more like private, and it was still really great. And now this time we're staying at Airbnb with some family friends, which is sick. I've seen the Airbnb. It looks insane. It's got like this huge pool, and apparently we're going to go like zip lining and stuff, which is going to be super fun because at least to my memory, I've never been zip lining. Yeah, that's going to be really fun. Let's see. Tug of war. Wow, that was like really random for you guys, but it was one of my notes. So, tug of war. Yesterday, my dad had a carnival thing for his work, and it was really fun. It was like from 2 to 7. So we were there like pretty much all day. It was really fun. There was like a Ferris wheel. There was food. There was candy. There was a dance contest. It was super sick. There was a ton of people there. So there was well over 1.5 thousand people. It was super big, and there was this tug of war contest. Me and my dad were signed up. It was super fun. I was the only kid under, or I was the only non-adult, which I'll get to my age a little bit later because you might be surprised. But basically, what happened is we did tug of war, and it was with like the different buildings, all the different buildings in like my dad's work area had a team, and so him, and some of his employees were doing it, and there was this one guy. He's like 6'5" probably, and he's like super big, super strong, and so me and him were in the front, and then my dad was in the back, and we actually did so good on the first one, and we won the first one, and then the second round, we lost, but it was so close. Oh, it was so annoying, because I was a big part of it, and I could tell I was a big part of it because when I was pulling, I had like gloves on, but they were football gloves, so they were like grippy, and so I was gripping it, but the gloves got completely destroyed. They were being worn down, and my thumb popped out of it, and my whole hand slipped across the rope, and it just went, whoosh, it just flew back, and we managed to get back on and pull for a little bit longer, but inevitably we lost, unfortunately. But it was still really fun. It's fine that we lost though, because we're gonna lose either way in the end, because there's this huge group. There's probably 2 people over 300 pounds and like 4 or 5 people over like 250. It was insane. Their tallest guy was probably like 6'4", 6'3". They were insane, and they won without a contest or without a competition at all. It was really sick to be a part of it. There was a kids dance contest and a grown-ups dance contest. The kids one, there was the kid that actually won was apparently like a actual dancer who took classes and stuff. So I didn't really think that was fair for the other kids, but she won like $300, and they gave every kid who participated $100. Or not every kid that participated, but like the top 10, I think they all got $100, and then the winner got like 300 or 500. And I was like, dang, bro. And then the grown-ups did one too, and they didn't give out $100 to each of them. They gave out, I think, I think they gave out $300 to the winner, which was pretty sick. I didn't do the dance contest because, this came true, but I knew that they were going to pick a little kid over someone that doesn't even look like they should be in there. And plus, the oldest kid that was doing it was probably 7. So I wasn't going to go dancing with a bunch of 7-year-olds. It was real fun. Me and my sister rode the Ferris wheel, and I kept rocking it, and she was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna die. It was really funny. Yeah, that carnival was great. Okay, so I almost forgot. Another thing that was really funny that happened there is one of the, like, announcer people. He worked in the company, but he was like kind of like the hype guy, and he right before our second tug of war thing, he asked me my name, and like he just started asking me some things about me, and he goes, "How old are you?" And I go, 13, and yes, I am 13, and he goes, "No, you're not," and I was like, "Yeah, I am," and then he goes, "Oh shoot, you have braces. Maybe you are 13." And he was, and like I told him my name and stuff, and he was like, "That's not a real name." He was just messing with me, and he was like super cool. It was really funny. He was just like giving me crap the entire time, and then there was one really old guy on the other team, and he goes, "Okay, so you're on this team, and then your grandpa's on that team." And he was just like making jokes about how it was young versus old the entire time, which is super cool. It was really funny. Yeah, it was great. As I said before, my dad's been obsessed with the World Cup, and he actually wanted me to show like a video or something because I'm gonna put these headphones on because he said like all like the Europeans coming to America, just like all the clips are so cool, so insane. That's just like so cool to see as an American because whenever other people think of America, you always think of, or what I've always heard is people are like, this is basically what the video is saying. This is not like what the media tells us at all. This is so much better than everything, and the whole world owes America an apology just because everyone just loves it here. That's great to hear as an American. America. I am definitely American. I got a long sleeve American flag t-shirt. I got this is one of the most American things I own. It's a tank top with a hood and a huge American flag. It looks so sick. It's actually really great to hear all these cool things being said, just because I love this country, and it's crazy to see that other people are like getting so excited about stuff that we take for granted, but now that you've seen these reactions, I feel like that I wouldn't take it as granted, or that's the saying, right? I wouldn't take it as granted nearly as much now that I've seen like how people think of it and everything like that. It's just great. My dad said there was this one clip of this guy who he had ribs, and he goes to cut it with his fork and knife, and he picks it up and starts eating it. And then the manager of the restaurant, he runs up to him and he goes, "No, no, no, I will not allow this in my restaurant." And then he goes, "Here," and the guy's like, "What? I'm just trying to eat my ribs." And he goes, "Put those down." He grabs the guy's hands, puts them on the ribs, brings it up to his mouth. The guy takes a bite and he's just, whoa. It's so crazy. Everyone's like, "We're being lied to about America," everything. Just so great. Everyone traveling over here. A bunch of people saying they're just going to stay here. Not going to leave. Yeah. I love traveling. Said this a lot this episode, but like I'm going to Costa Rica. Let's see, what states have I been to So I've been to California. I've been to Arizona. I've been to Nevada. I've been to Utah. I'm I'm not sure about this one, but I'm pretty sure I went to Texas when I was a little kid. And then I could have gone to Hawaii, but my parents left me and my siblings here with our family, which was still turned out being pretty fun, but was kind of bummed out that I didn't get to go to freaking Hawaii, which is great. I mean, I'd love to be in Hawaii. Alright. It's crazy how big soccer or football is to other countries, because they're traveling with and costs that are like thousands of dollars, not even including the tickets to like get in the stadium. They're traveling to America to just watch a soccer game. It's just crazy. Crazy the dedication. Yeah, I can't. I'm so confused about all the UK and England stuff. I just don't get it, because apparently there's Ireland, England, or let's actually pull that up, because I'm not sure what countries are in the UK. What countries are in the UK? Alright, so apparently England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So Great Britain is what includes England, Scotland, and Wales. And then United Kingdom also contains some of Northern Ireland. But I don't get it, because apparently the UK is a country, and Great Britain's a country, and England's a country, and Scotland's a country, and Wales is a country, and all of Ireland's a country. So I'm just very confused on that. I just can't wrap my head around it. Also like a English accent. I think it sounds cool. But I don't think I would like to have an English accent, because then I would have to learn a more proper way of English. Or not necessarily, but I'm just saying, like, I would be a lot more proper. And I'm not saying that's like bad or anything. It's just, I don't know, not really the redneck vibe. I'm not a redneck, but all my friends at school make fun of me for it, because, I mean, I'm always red. That's just kind of like my skin tone. You probably can't tell, but I'm just always red. And then I'm also like very American, very like patriotic. And so they always call me like a redneck. And I take it. I have a lot of nicknames, some of which I won't get into. But I have been called, or this wasn't a nickname, but I wore like this huge flannel jacket one time. And so one of my friends said I look like a southern grandpa that shoots bears for a living. It's just so creative. I was so confused on it, but I'm like, I mean, okay. Actually, when I was when I was a little kid, probably like first grade, second grade, my nickname was Grandpa because it's not as white now, but my hair was used to be like so white. Used to be like whiter than my background. It was insane. I wish I could pull up a picture, but my hair was, I can't emphasize it enough. It was really white, so they all just called me Grandpa because I had white hair. It's really fun. Out of all the states I've been to, Utah and California are my favorite. Because, I mean, Arizona and Nevada, in my opinion, are just too hot. And California can be too hot in some places as well. Same with Utah. But the thing I like about Utah is that it snows in the winter and then it's pretty hot in the summer. So you could have like a pool in the summer and you could go snowboarding in the winter. And I like that kind of diversity. And then, I mean, it's kind of the same with California, but it's just you have to go to different places to get that. And one thing I really like about Utah is like all the soda shops. I wish that they would open up a soda shop near us. And they're just so good. And I'm sure I will love Texas when I go. Some people in my school say that I'm the most Texan, non-Texan they've ever seen. Which means, I guess I don't even know what it means, but apparently I'm like a Texan, but I wasn't born in Texas or haven't even been to Texas really, unless maybe when I was a little kid. But I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to be the kind of person that travels. Like already, I travel every summer. Heck, when this comes out, I'm not even going to be in this country. Which is kind of sad though, because it's coming up on the 250th anniversary of America. And let's see, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so it's coming up on the 250th anniversary of America. And I love 4th of July. 4th of July is like top 3 holidays. Halloween and Christmas, I love them both. And those 3 are probably at a tie. Halloween, Christmas, and 4th of July. Wow, I'm starting to rhyme. I go, those 3 are probably a tie. Halloween, Christmas, and 4th of July. I'm not trying to be like Dr. Seuss. So, yeah. I just love 4th of July. It was like my grandpa's favorite holiday. It was really fun. Good old days. Hopefully we'll be able to do something when we're in Costa Rica. It'll be fun. Hopefully. I just love sitting down on the grass with your family, your friends, just looking up at this guy and seeing just the fireworks lighting up the night. And then, best music in my opinion. Born in the USA. Born in the USA. I was just listening to music while I was mowing the lawn. Yeah. Mowing the lawn's annoying if you're not listening to anything, in my opinion. My dad said I couldn't listen to a podcast while I was mowing the lawn because it distracted me too much. Which might be a good point because I kind of ran over two sprinkler heads. Yeah. On accident. But it's all good now. I didn't run over any sprinkler heads this time. And I was listening to a bunch of music. I was listening to Move Along. I listened to Rich Girl. I like a bunch of oldies. I mean, Move Along's not really oldies, but I like a bunch of oldies like Sweet Caroline, Don't Stop Believin', all the big hits. That's actually one of the major things I'm known for at my school is knowing almost every word to almost every song that came out before 2000. Because now they just don't make music like they used to. Jeez Louise, I sound like a broken record. I just said that last episode for movies and video games. Jeez Louise. I just love a bunch of old stuff. Gotta bring old back. Love the songs. I just know all the lyrics to almost every song. I know a ton of great movies from way before I was born. Closer to when my dad was born than to when I was born. And yeah. Speaking of old stuff making a comeback, hacky sacks are making a real comeback. My dad, he said the biggest thing when he was in like high school was the hacky sack. And now, thankfully, it's finally coming back. Because I love playing hacky sack. I was like one of the first people to bring it back. I was playing hacky sack in like first grade. And then it didn't really catch on. And then now it's catching back on. So I don't care if I get the credit or not. I'm just glad that everyone's playing. I'm not the best, admittedly. But still really fun just to, I don't know, even using your hands is fine if you're just starting out. Because me and my cousins were just here on Thursday. We were playing hacky sack, and it was really fun. Since none of us were that good, we're playing with our hands, and we were doing this thing where it's called dog, I think it's called. And so basically you get 3 hits, I think. And so, but you can't hit it twice. Or if you do hit it twice, it doesn't count towards the next point, kind of. So I hit it, then someone else hits it, then someone else hits it, and then you try to catch it, and then if you throw it at someone, then they get D, and then if they get a D, O, and G, then they're out. It's kind of like a game of pig or something like that. It's just with hacky sack, which is surprisingly really fun. I love having my cousins over. It's so fun because I've definitely said this before, but they live like 2 hours away. And so I don't always get to see them. But when I do, it's great. We went and played pickleball at the country club. And so it was hilarious because we were just singing but badly. And we were going, somebody I used to know, now you're just somebody I used to know. We're just like laughing the entire time. And I was using like the pickleball paddle as a microphone, just going all out. It was so funny. But oh, actually, that reminds me. So when we came home from that, um, there was these. I wanted to show them these videos, right? And it's from Walk Off the Earth. If you don't know who that is, it's like a group of singers, and they did a version of Somebody That I Used to Know, but it was 5 people on one guitar, which is insane. There's also a Mark Wahlberg version of Somebody That I Used to Know. It's really funny. So, if you didn't know, Mark Wahlberg was in a band or a singing group called Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. This is true, by the way. And he's a singer, right? And in one of his latest movies called Balls Up, he and this one other guy did a version of Somebody That I Used to Know. And it's so funny because the whole time he doesn't want to do it. He's forced into it by his girlfriend. So the whole time he's just like, now and then I think of all the times you screwed me over. And he's just so mad the entire time. And then the other guy comes in as like the girl part, and he's like, and I don't want to live that way. Listen to every word you say. You said that you could let it go, but I wouldn't get hung up on being somebody that you used to know. It's so funny. I've probably watched that scene 20 times. And so we showed that to those 2 videos to our cousins, and it was the good old days of 2 days ago. I missed 2 days ago. All my cousins are so funny to hang around. So on my mom's side, there's she has 8 siblings. My dad has 3 siblings. I think I said in the last episode that my dad has 4 siblings, but he's like one of 4 siblings. That's what I meant. And so I have a lot of cousins, and we're all so fun to hang around. All my family is. You know that feeling when you just are like, life is good. That's kind of where I'm at right now, which is great. Insert satisfied mouth noise. That didn't sound how I wanted it to. Insert satisfied sigh. Here. We'll fix that in post. Probably not. But, sorry, I just shouted right there. Yeah, it's great hanging out. What's my brother doing? He's playing on his Oculus. It's always so funny to watch people playing on their Oculuses, because they're just like, huh? Yeah. Whoa. And you just can't see anything they're doing, and they just look like they're waving a bunch of stuff around. It looks so funny to the outside person. All right. I think that's all for today's episode. Yeah, as always, let me know if you liked it by hitting the thumbs up on YouTube. It sounds very cringy, but thank you for listening, and guess it's goodbye for now. Thank you for listening to Morning Walks. This has been a Bad Productions podcast starring Leo Masson, editing by Leo Masson. Also, in a note for today's podcast, it was originally recorded using some copyrighted videos and songs that has been removed, so that is what explains any gaps that you may have noticed. Thank you for listening.